everyone? What up, what up? It's your girl Audie getting at you guys with another Audie's Art Struggles podcast episode. And today is August 5th, 2024. And it's about 6 o'clock. And I feel like I have nothing but everything to report. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. But first of all, I want to talk about. Well, you guys know how much I've been stressing, right, about the deadline and all of that. I have about 2 weeks to get things done, and I haven't done shit today. I woke up at 12:30. We were supposed to do the Y Run podcast at 1 o'clock, but we ended up being so completely late, and we kicked on the cast at like 3:30, and we just got done about, I don't know, maybe like half an hour ago. While we were casting, I painted some drum ornaments. I painted them turquoise. That's what my mom said that I could do. And I didn't do anything else after that. I didn't do shit today. So I don't even know if I should go out and work or not. I forgot to tell or cancel my appointment for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. But anyhow, so I'm like extremely tired. I know I say that in every episode, and I'm tired of saying that I'm tired, but I'm tired. But I talked to my mom about all of these things last night, and she was like, you know what? She's like, don't stress. Don't worry too much about the deadline. We're just gonna take what we're gonna take. That sounds all good and everything, but at the same time, I'm thinking like, that's still kind of not right. Like I'm just feeling like that shouldn't be our attitude. Like we should try to, just move and, all of that. But we're not gonna, like as much as I hate to say it, we're not gonna take everything that I have in this box here, because it is a lot of line work. Line work can't be messy or sloppy or anything. So but it does feel good for my mom to say, don't worry too much about the deadline. We're just going to take what we're going to take. But of course, I'm still going to keep working on the ornaments even after the show. But yeah, it sucks for me right now to be like, yeah, it has to be that way for now. Next year, for sure, I hope to do a lot more better. Um, how do I feel about it? I feel like we should be pushing, but I really can't help how tired I am, and that's what fucking sucks. But anyway, I guess I want to also include in this episode about the texture of the paint that I mixed. So obviously, heavy body, the clear gesso, it really makes the paint feel sandy, right? And I think I discussed how I came up with this mixture. It was really about a TikTok or like a IG reel. People were asking the artist like, "Yo, how do you get the paint to flow so nicely the way that you do?" And of course, artists they don't want to give away their tips and tricks. It would not, I won't let it pass that he may have just said that just to, like give them something that's not the truth. But it's yeah, it makes the paint feel very sandy, very dry. If you guys know anything about gesso, white gesso, clear gesso, black gesso, it does feel like you need to sand it. And for me, the heavy body and the clear gesso, it really makes the paint sandy. So I'm not gonna be mixing my paint like that anymore, because it doesn't feel right. Even when I just use the heavy body and water, it still has a little bit of that consistency, but I think there was still clear gesso left at the bottom of the jar. So there was a little bit of paint left with the gesso, but I just added more heavy body and a lot of water and mixed it like that. And it's not as sandy, but I'm pretty sure it's a gesso that's left in there that still makes it feel a little sandy, but not too much. When it comes to the fluid additive, I'm starting to feel like that doesn't hold any purpose, to be honest. I just don't see it. I don't feel it. And I completely forgot about it when I was mixing the heavy body and water. I probably should have just used the fluid additive and the heavy body, but instead I use heavy body and water. So, I go through black paint really fast. So I'm pretty sure that once I get through the heavy body and water, I will mix heavy body and water or the fluid additive. So, yeah, I'm just gonna be going back to the other way that I was making the paint. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's all about trial and error, right? It's all about experimenting. I am not the type of person that experiments. I just don't like, first of all, stuff to experiment with, it gets really expensive, and I feel like it does waste a lot of time. You don't know, like, you're kind of risking ruining your artwork. So I guess that's why I just stay away from it, but I just thought these were like two things that I could try. And it's been fun, but I just don't like the feel of how the clear gesso makes the heavy body. Um, and yeah, I don't think that would, if you're really particular with your art and you need it to be absolutely perfect, like how I do. We're not abstract artists. We just slap paint on any other way, and just be fine with it and walk away. We are very particular with how it feels, how it looks. Everything has to be in its place because that's just how we want it. That's how the traditions keep it, or that's just like our style. That's just how we work. And yeah, the person that said like, oh yeah, I use, heavy body and, clear gesso, um and it worked for him but not us, then, even if he is telling the truth, you know not for my art, it don't work. But yeah, but I know some artists is they don't want to give away their tips and tricks, and I respect that. That's okay. But yeah, moving on from that, I think I need to find a new way to use the additive. I do watercolor paints. I do, I would like to start, incorporating watercolor in my paintings. I had an idea for like a furniture piece, but I think I have to experiment more with it. But I don't know if the additive would be good for that kind of project. With watercolor, I would have to use like a fixative. So, because if I just put varnish on it, it might just smear the whole thing. So I would need to experiment with the watercolor and the fixative. And if you don't know what a fixative is a spray or a solution that if you use like oil pastels or chalk powdered pastels, or like they call it dry pastels, any kind of pastels, it keeps it from smudging or like moving or like deteriorating. It just keeps the pastels in place. I have water soluble pastels. So they're watercolor, but like in a crayon pastel stick form. So I would need to see if, because if it gets wet, it's gonna move around like watercolor. So I'm wondering if I could, try the water soluble pastels. If I put fixative on top, will it move it around? You know what I'm saying? So I need to figure that out, experiment with that. So look forward to that in the upcoming Audie's art struggles. Will it be a struggle? I don't know. We'll find out. And let me tell you guys, I know I told you guys that I was listening to an audiobook. It's an art audiobook. And I told you guys, like, oh, I think, I don't agree with, the beginning parts of it. But as I was listening to the chapters, you know, kind of putting new ideas into my head, right? And sometimes when I first hear something that I don't like, I'm just like, okay, fuck it. This not even worth listening to anymore. But I'm trying to like get out of that habit of just being like, you know what, I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna feed this book any more of my listening to it, or I'm not gonna fill my head up with this bullshit. But there were a lot of things that I was like, you know what, Audie, you just really need to just shut the hell up and just try it, or just listen to it. You don't have to do or take nothing from it. Just hear this fucking book out and, see what's up. And I plan on doing that. I actually have to go back a few chapters and take down some notes, and we can talk about it. So yeah, I don't think, and this may be fucked up of me, but I just don't feel like I should credit the book. But I probably will, though, when I talk about the chapters, right? Because if I credit the book, everyone's gonna find this podcast, and as much as I want the art struggles to be out there, I don't need fucking slander for my fucking opinion. You know what I mean? Like, once you give an opinion and you're just like, oh, I don't agree with that, people, they just get angry with you. Like, they're just like, okay, just ready to cancel Audie's art struggles. And it's like, well, you're not really canceling me if you just discovered Audie's art struggles. You know what I'm saying? But to avoid all of that anger and, like, all that bashing, it's just easy for me. Okay, it is easy for me to not credit the book, not say where I got this shit from. It's just another author's or another artist's opinions, and whatever works for them. But as I said before, it's like, okay, this person is talking to people that are wanting to be artists, but they're not artists. So that's kind of keeping me in line to like really speaking about, the bullshit things that the author is talking about. So if that makes me a shitty person, well, I think it's a shitty thing for this motherfucker to be like, oh yeah, well, it's okay to copy, it's okay to do this and that. And it's just like, you are fucking insulting the game. Okay. And I'm always gonna feel that way, being an artist all my life. I don't think everything that he's saying is right. It may be right and okay for certain people that aren't artists, but it is insulting to artists that literally are born artists, even though the dude said no one is born an artist. It's like, fuck you. What the fuck do you know? But that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, you know what, I did kind of, continue to listen, even though I was ready to cut that bitch off and delete it from my fucking library. But I kept listening to it, and I was like, oh, okay, like, that, like, I can agree, that I can say that I haven't done and I should be doing, just never gave it a try. It was just a thought. I didn't think it would go anywhere for the type of art that I'm doing. There's just certain things for certain things. And that's where I have agreements and disagreements. I could see it working out for somebody, but I don't see it working out for me. Um, but it's just a listen, right? So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go. It's already at the end of the day. I don't have nothing else to say. I've just been busy, busy, busy on ornaments, and I've been sleeping a lot. I feel like crashing the fuck out right now. But I need to make a phone call and see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drink some water, and yeah, I'm just gonna pretty much call it an evening. Can't even talk. I'm like trying to rush through this, and I don't know why I'm rushing. Maybe I just had it. Maybe I just had it. But yeah, I hope you guys take some takeaways from this, whether it's the fixative, the additive, the gesso and the heavy body and the water, like all of these things. I hope it did something for you. And what I said about the audiobook, I guess the takeaways from that is, just hear other artists out, and it don't necessarily have to apply to you. Other people, I don't want to say artists, but other people can be full of shit. I think a lot of people are full of shit when they talk about stuff. Even you guys may think that I'm full of shit, but I'm just giving my opinion. I'm just one opinion over here. That's it. Just trying to make a deadline and educate people on the ornaments that I'm painting. And I actually put together a diagram. I'll probably go ahead and release it along with this episode, because I keep saying like, oh, I'm painting, the raindrops, I'm painting clouds, I'm painting rainbows, and you guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I made a little diagram of the corn maiden Kachina, and I would really appreciate if you guys check it out, learn all about her, and just keep her in your mind, because she is a very gentle being, and I believe that she is someone that everyone should strive to be. All right, so check her out. And yeah, that is it for this episode. I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe evening, and I will talk to you guys in the next Audie's Art Struggles podcast. Yay!